Hi, here's Obi from Bitterbyte. This spring I wanted to build a fast Pentium 3 Windows 98 PC. I opened my old PC boxes and ordered some missing parts online. When I started the building process, I realized that this machine would also be able to run Windows 95 as well. Around the 25th anniversary of Windows 95 this year, I was searching YouTube for Windows 95 videos, and there were no videos that showcased a 95 PC that was that fast. I proudly present the Blackmagic 95 PC. No, it's definitely not a woman. It is and it stays a PC. The case is a Chiftech MIDI Tower HC-10B-OP case. To cover the front panel audio and other ports I cannot connect to the mainboard, I used some black masking tape. I added in the front a Corsair ML 120 case fan to get some additional airflow. This case is not the best in regards of airflow, but I can feel the additional air on my hand, and up to now I had no problems with overheating. The system drive is installed on a mobile rack to be able to quickly change the operating system. I copy everything from and to the machine using a USB 3 to SATA adapter. This allows me to copy everything at around 200 megabytes per second, while the network is stuck at approximately 10 megabytes per second, and USB 1.1 is even slower. I'm using Symantec Ghost 12 to make images of different states of the installation. This allows me to try out all software, and in case of any problems, which will occur with Windows 9X, I'm able to quickly roll back to a known good installation. It takes me only 1 minute to install a basic operating system where all drivers are already installed. The CD-ROM I installed is a Hitachi LG GCC-4481B drive with 48 read and write speeds and 16 times DVD read speeds. The floppy drive is a standard black 3.5-inch floppy drive to match the case's color. Let me turn the machine around. Not much to see here. The power supply is a Be Quiet Straight Power 11 with 450 watts, which is absolutely overkill for this system. It had to be modular to reduce the cable mess. The connections on the rear bracket offer a keyboard and a mouse port, 2 additional USB 1.1 ports, 2 serial ports, and a parallel port. Here you can see the graphics card, the network card, and the installed sound card. I'm gonna show you these parts a little later. Let me turn the machine once again. Now I'm gonna open it. The mainboard is a Matsonic MS7177 CT Revision 1 board. It provides a VIA Apollo Pro 133T chipset. There is one AGP4X, although Windows 95 limits the AGP speed to 1X, and 5 PCI slots. The motherboard offers 6 USB 1.1 ports, 2 on the back panel and 4 on board, with 12 megabits second. There are 2 IDE UDMI5 ATA100 connectors. The BIOS is from Award and is on version 6.00 PG from 2003. The CPU is installed on an Intel Socket 370. It's a Pentium 3S Tualatin 1.4 GHz CPU with 133 MHz frontside bus. The CPU offers MMX and SSE instructions, 16K level 1 data and 16K level 1 instruction cache, and 512K level 2 cache. The CPU fan is a noise blocker Black Silent Pro PR1. As for the memory, I installed an Apacer PC133 CL2 512 MB SD-RAM single module, overclocked at 2226. The graphics card is a MSI 8870 version 10.A with a Salmon passive cooler. It's an NVIDIA GeForce 4 Ti 4200 NV25 chip with 64 megabytes graphics memory. It offers OpenGL 1.4 and DirectX 8.0. As connectors, there are a VGA connector, S-Video connector, and a DVI connector. The network card is a Realtek RTL 8139 Fast Ethernet NIC that offers 10/100 megabits second speed. As a sound card, I installed a Creative Sound Blaster Live 5.1 with a EMU 10K1 chip that supports EAX 2.0. The model number is SB0100. To round up the hardware installation part, I'm going to show you how I set up my system so SATA SSDs can be accessed on IDE systems. I always use SSDs since maybe 2008. I hate mechanical drives. So I put the SSD into that drive carrier. Then I mount the drive carrier into the mobile rack in here. I always take out these annoying little fans so the systems are a little bit quieter. Then I can take the mobile rack and put it into the mounting rack. And to finish up, I have to use a SATA to IDE converter. Just like that. And from now on, I can use these SSDs on any IDE system. Okay, let's have a look at some BIOS settings. The standard CMOS features show the date, the SSD, the CD-ROM drive, the floppy drive, and also on the bottom you can see the installed memory. The advanced BIOS features show you mainly the boot order. First is the floppy, second is the CD-ROM, and third is the installed SSD. The advanced chipset features let me control the DRAM timings, where I set everything to turbo. The DRAM cycle lengths that I set to 2 to slightly overclock the system memory. It shows me that the ADP 4X mode is enabled, and also that the onboard sound and onboard modem is disabled. The integrated peripherals tab would let me define the possible Sound Blaster emulation if I enabled the onboard sound. The PC health status gives me an idea regarding the system temperatures and the actual voltages. I'm exiting the BIOS without saving because I didn't make any changes. Let's boot the system. First, let's have a look at my computer. It shows that Windows 95 is installed in version C. I have installed Internet Explorer 5.5 Service Pack 2, and there is 512 megabyte RAM installed. Let's go to the device manager. You see everything is installed correctly. The NVIDIA drivers are on version 4345. The audio drivers are VXD version 4.12.01.0905, and I've installed DirectX 8A. What else is installed on that PC? Well, first you can see the benchmarks here. It's Final Reality 3D Mark 99 Max, 3D Mark 2000, of course the games, quite a lot of games. In the graphics tab I have CorelDRAW 9, and also Photoshop 5.5. As Office Suite is installed Windows Office 2000 with all its components. Word, I'm not gonna open everything. In the video section I have Cool3D, that's a title generator for movies. I was using that program only once and it was really complicated. I just installed it, but I don't know anymore how to use it. I remember I was doing one title for a video once in that tool, and it took me so long to figure out how that program was working. Today I've lost everything. I don't know anymore how to use it. Next we have the Magic Video Effects average. That was really cool. I love these effects, and I remember doing some wedding videos and these effects just blew me away. And of course the Media Studio Pro, that was my favorite editor when I started to edit videos. And of course there is also Premiere 5.0 installed. This was a little bit more complicated than the other one, that's why I just used the ULED Media Studio Pro. Now let's go into the benchmarks. Final Reality is a benchmark that I always start with the base settings. I don't change anything. Run benchmark. We get 14.53 2D marks, 8.2 3D marks, and the bus transfer is marked at 4.81. The overall score, as you can see here, is 9.59. Here are the Final Reality results for the same machine with exactly the same driver versions, but with Windows 98 SE. We get 13.77 2D marks, 8.28 3D performance, 10.82 bus transfer, and an overall score of 10.31. All the other benchmarks were performed at the exact same conditions. 1024 by 768 resolution with a color depth of 16-bit. 3D Mark 2000 with Windows 95 gives me 5438 points. With Windows 98 SE 10,609. 3D Mark 99 Max gives me a CPU Marks score of 14,529 in Windows 95C compared to 22,088 in Windows 98 SE. The 3D marks look a little bit better for Windows 95C, where I get 8,803 points compared to 10,480 points. The Quake benchmarks have Windows 95 in a really bad position. GL Quake in Windows 98 gives me 359.8 frames per second compared to Windows 95 211.5 frames per second. Quake 2 is in Windows 98 326.2 frames per second to 157.7 frames per second in Windows 95. Quake 3 Arena gives me in Windows 98 145.7 frames per second compared to 80.8 frames per second in Windows 95. So what are my final thoughts of the Blackmagic 95 PC? Is it worth it? I would say yes and no. No, because Windows 98 SE is much faster and offers a wider choice of playable games. Yes, because I like to tinker, and this project gave me the opportunity to showcase YouTube's fastest 95 PC. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.